Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, React and Chill. I'm Dika. So last time on Bleach, we had a little bit of a flashback, kind of look into a little bit of a look into Ikaku's past, and essentially how he ended up joining the 13 court guard squads and how he ended up on squad 11, and just generally his relationship with Kenpachi at the time. And all of this kind of came full circle for him, especially when we saw the epic outcome with his fight with I forgot what Arrancar he placed at, but he was Edelrod. So the epic defeat of Edelrod, and how, you know, even Edelrod said at the end he gave him his respect, saying, you know, I'm glad I got a chance to find your name, you know, because in that moment Edelrod had died. And you know, the other Arrancars, we had Xiaolong and Ilfert definitely, and even Nakim definitely beating up our soul captain and lieutenant. However, even after when they released their Sanpakutos, you know, we had I think it was Xiaolong's was Tehereta, the sort of scorpion looking thing, and Del Toro from Ilfert. We found out a little bit about the classifications of the Arrancars, and how Grimjow Jack is part of an elite group of Arrancars called the Espadas, and he is Espada number 6 by the sound of it. And unfortunately, of course, Ichigo had to be up against the strongest Arrancar of them all, part of their group, the strongest Arrancar of their group. However, it wasn't their final form, because just as they were literally all on the ropes, they finally got permission from the Serite to go and release Gentei, or go to Gentei Kaijo. So I'm assuming, like I said last time, that this was probably their releasing the barriers, because they had limiters on their powers, so now that they could now use full power to fight the Arrancars. And so now I'm excited to see what this Gentei Kaijo does for our Soul Reapers, and here we are with episodes 121 and 122.
Activating Gentei Kaijo! They've been granted Gentei Kaijo. What is that?
Must wear a Gentei Rain, a spirit restriction seal in
I
the
thought
form of
so.
a squad badge somewhere on our bodies.
And it can limit our powers by 80%.
Wow,
That now,
that thing is powerful. Ooh.
we're 5 times stronger!
Oh, woohoo.
We have our own technique,
Slash.
and we call it slash step.
Oh, she got him.
Ikutsu Taiho!
They're releasing their ultimate powers. Oh wow. Oh shit, it's gone. Scary. Oh. Oh my lord. They made quick work of them. And he probably hit his limit now. Oh.
Kaijo, you jerk! How long does it take to get some juice from a vending machine? You have to squeeze the...
Well, you see,
Did he? Oh, she's.
Oh, you're gonna let the bus stay with us? Well, you know me, I'm totally cool with that.
Oh my god. He just grabbed Zangetsu. And he's just flinging him around. Oh. Can he... He can't keep up. He's just about... Oof. Oh. Concussion. Oh my god. Coma. He's gonna uppercut him. Oh. Punch him. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. How's his face not broken by now?
is that all there is to you, Bankai? I gotta say, you turned out to be a real disappointment. Getsuga!
Oh, Tensho! Come on!
Damn, what was that?
Oh.
Okiora didn't mention that move in his report about your attacks, Soul Reaper.
Oh yeah. His hollow's coming out. Look.
You're acting awfully cold.
Uh-oh, what's happened? Oh! Oh my god! This guy, but I forgot his name!
Put your sword away. You want to explain to me why you're here?
Why are you here? That's...
Why? You can't be serious. Lord Eisen is quite upset with you.
Damn! Tozen, I forgot his name, but I knew who he was. And Tozen's come down to discipline him. He's the one who's come down to drag him back home.
Hey you, hold on! Where the hell do you think you're going? Shut up, Soul Reaper. Going home. I'd say you have about 2 or 3 attacks left in you.
How did you know that?
Still, Cream Jow Jaggerjack. Because the next time you hear my name, you'll be a dead man. You stupid idiot. The fact that you're still alive means that you won.
Oh.
If you were me, you'd feel the same way.
Oh yeah, and whatever happened...
It's gonna be okay, Ururu.
Trust me, Orihime, it's not what you think it is.
Welcome back, Green Jow.
I'm a bit scared for Grimdrow.
I'm not really that upset. But Lord Eisen, I believe Green Jow's actions were an attempt to please me. Nice try, Tosin. You've always hated me. That's what this fuss is about, isn't it? With no moral foundation behind it, killing is nothing more than murder.
Oh! Oh! Shit, it took his arm. Can you grow that back?
I warn you, I'll be forced to reprimand you if you attack.
Yeah, I don't want to be reprimanded, maybe.
The ones that were destroyed were among the lowest of the Gileads.
Okay.
My plans haven't been the least bit affected.
There's only one thing that concerns me at this moment, and that's whether or not this game of yours is going to revive my powers.
That's my business. You'll just have to carry out the plan, assuming you don't die
Oh,
first.
goodness.
What's all the fuss about? I'm right here.
Thank goodness! I thought something terrible had happened to you!
We can't find Ichigo.
Besides, if he knew a way to deal with something like this, then he would have taught it to me long before I went off to the Soul Society.
You say that, but Kisuke, there's a lot of things that we don't know about Kisuke. And if in my other reaction, when we found out all about what Kisuke was up to and the experiments that he was sort of doing, and essentially I even said it before, that he was the one who trained Ichigo, so he would have been very aware of Ichigo's transformation to gain his Soul Reaper powers. So I do believe that maybe Kisuke does know something, because I even said in that reaction that, you know, because Kisuke gave, for example, Rukia the body without the the spiritual particles in it, she was technically slowly becoming human. So I definitely think Kisuke has got something to do with it, because again, Kisuke was banished for making the Hokyoku in the first place. So if he was able, and both Arrancars and Vizards are products of Hollows and Soul Reapers crossing the barrier. So, you know, I definitely think Kisuke is involved in some way or another, or at least would know a bit more, even though Ichigo doesn't think so.
It can't go on like this.
For goodness sake, there seems to be an awful lot of people absent today. Since all of them are Ichigo's friends, I'm sure they're not doing anything terrible.
Well, I'm a friend of Ichigo's. Can I cut class?
No, Mr. Asano, I'm afraid not.
Those guys were small fry.
He's more worried about the
Weren't
big
Buster
fry.
Lourdes. They probably weren't even the rank below that.
Mr. Urahara,
He wants to get stronger too.
please, sir. Please help. You must train me.
Good job finding this place, Ichigo.
Oh! He went to them!
I wonder what that means. Wait, have you finally decided to join us?
Of course he would go to the Vizards, because they're the ones, they've got hollows that they've essentially tamed, so that's where he went. So he didn't go to Kisuke, Urahara, he went to Shinji.
I have no intention of joining up with you people. I'm not that desperate. kid yourself. I want you to teach me how to control the hollow inside me.
Yeah.
After that, I'm out of here. I'll make you teach me.
Oh yeah, how so?
He's gonna, yeah. Oh my god! Oh. He literally just said, "You're gonna teach me one way or another."
Little punk's scared that every time he fights, he's gonna release that inner hollow and he won't be able to control it. That's why he wants it suppressed.
Shinji! Time out! It means the power to choose is entirely our choice. The bottom line is whether you want to join us or not is completely up to us. If you're powerful, we'll let you join us and show you what it means to be a visor. We'll even teach you how to control your hollow. But if it turns out you're weak, then you can forget it. Now, if you get the picture, let your inner hollow out. Let's see how powerful you are.
She's growing her mask. Oof.
I'll drag your hollow out, even if I have to end up beating it out of you. If you don't get over your fear and hollowfy,
Oh, they bring the mask down. Shit. Oh my god.
because I'm going to kill you.
So those are another 2 fantastic episodes. We got some good stuff in that, and we also got a chance to see a little bit of power dynamics, especially when we look back at what's happening in Hueco Mundo. So firstly, we got to see Gentai Kaijo, which was epic. We got to see, obviously, with the all 3 Soul Reapers explaining a bit more about that and that. And I knew it was the limiters. It was what was sort of suppressing their powers. But again, Ichigo at this moment in time is no match for Grimmjow, Draco Jack. You know, even in Bankai, he literally could not keep up with Grimmjow. Grimmjow was basically saying, you know, your speed is pretty much average, and he was literally giving him hands after hands. And at that point, when Ichigo had used Getsuga Tensho, we found out that was Hollow Ichigo's attack rather than his. And I did make I did make a point about, you know, what if Ichigo has his own version of that attack. But it's crazy because even when Tozen had turned up to kind of rein Grimmjow back to say, basically, Aizen's upset with you, get back in line, you little shit, Grimmjow pretty much knew Ichigo didn't have a lot more left in him, and he was absolutely correct. If Tozen never stepped in, if he wasn't being called back by Papa Aizen, he would have killed Ichigo. He literally was about to grab his son Pakuto, but Tozen literally saved Ichigo indirectly, and Ichigo was at that point fighting Hollow Ichigo, because Hollow Ichigo was like, you really think you could do this yourself? He was about to come out, and he knows, it's like, Ichigo's not fighting at his full potential, because the moment he starts fighting at his full potential, he's worried Hollow Ichigo is gonna take over. Essentially, he's still worried about the evil within. But all jokes aside, the power dynamics. So yeah, when they went back, and you know, Tozen was basically saying, the other 5 Arrancars are dead now, and look what you did. And I did like how the way Aizen was speaking to him. I'm not saying, well, actually, Aizen, he pretty much potentially has a track record of getting rid of, I guess, things he deems unnecessary to him. So the fact that even though Tozen was getting angry, and even Tozen reprimanded Grimmjow himself, you know, I don't know if this was, and the way he was easily able to cut his arm off and basically try and put him in his place, he caught him off guard. But the way Aizen was acting random, you know, trying to appease him to say, you know what, the reason, he was like, don't worry, Tozen. He was like, welcome back, Grimmjow. Don't worry. The reason why he did that was he was trying to impress me. Wasn't that right, Grimmjow? It's almost as if maybe Aizen feels as if Grimmjow has the potential. Like, he's really strong. He doesn't want to get rid of him because of him just technically being a brat. I don't know how long ago they were born. I don't know how long they've been alive. So he's probably just going his teenage rebellious phase. And Grimmjow even said to Tozen, you know, you hated me. And Tozen had some points, and I mentioned this right at the beginning when we first were introduced or saw Grimmjow, about how Grimmjow is clearly the black sheep of the Arrancar family. He's the one that was between those other Arrancars, the Menos Gillians that were transformed into Arrancars. he was like the gang leader, the big brother almost, and you could tell. So he doesn't, I wouldn't say like playing against the rules, but clearly he's the troublemaker. But I'm assuming he is still worthy of keeping around, or he's got the potential to, because even when even at that point, Aizen had to, it was the motherly version of raising his eyebrow at him when he said, you don't want me to reprimand you. If you end up attacking, he was like, think about your actions. He gave him the talk that your mother would give you just before you're about to talk back. He was like, think about your actions. If you end up attacking Kaname, I will have to reprimand you myself. And you wouldn't want that, would you? So Grimjar realised, I want none of that smoke. And he decided to leave it be at that moment in time. And obviously at the same time, even when Gin came out of the shadows and said, you like doing that, essentially you like pitting them against each other. But I don't know if Aizen does that to kind of appease everyone. Grimjar clearly still won't go up against Aizen because he knows he's going to get his ass handed to him. Unlike what he did to Ichigo when he was giving him the 1-2. But I couldn't believe, we'll bring this back around to when Toshiro had mentioned it, that those were, he was like, they were weak, they were the Gillians, it doesn't matter. I'm still certain that we're going to get our Vasto Lordes, which were the bigger ones that he's after. And again, I don't know if Aizen sees that the potential Grimjar. Firstly, Grimjar is an Espada. He's part of the Espada because he is an Arrancar 6. So him disposing of Grimjar in that sense would kind of be a waste of his efforts, because I don't know if the Espadas or within the ranks of the Espadas there are potentials of them becoming the Vasto Lordes or even some Atujas. So those Arrancars they had trouble with were Gillians, and Toshiro had said it, we are in trouble because they weren't even the Vasto Lordes, the ones that we need to look out for. The ones that we had such a hard time with were the weaker Menoses. They were the bottom tier Menoses. So there's definitely a sense of fear and a sense of foreboding worry there. And again, going back, we had a couple of things that had happened. Obviously, Orihime. I don't know if the way Orihime was looking at Ichigo is more down to the fact that she felt useless again. Like they both feel pretty much the same. Ichigo feels like he can't do anything to help his friends, and Orihime feels like she can't do anything to help Ichigo. Like she feels like she's useless, and even though her abilities to heal is becoming better and better, she still feels like it's not enough. Or maybe that's in comparison to, I don't feel like I'm good enough to heal or whatnot because I'm still not good enough to help Ichigo on the battlefield. I really did like that bit where we saw Ryoken and I'm gonna call him Ishida. Ryoken and Uryu training. So he was in this weird panic energy, I don't know what, a cell. So he was sort of dodging his father's attack, and he sensed that, he knew, and I'm sure there's a small part of him that was worried, a small part of him that wanted to essentially be out there to help. But his dad basically said, you know what, why are you worried about those Soul Reapers? And obviously we know the promise he made to his father, I'm no longer going to deal with those Soul Reapers, help me get my power back. So they're going through their own sort of training at that moment in time. And then when Rukia was chewing Ichigo out again, like, don't look at me, or, get that look off your face, basically. And she basically told him what's what. She said, you're worried about the hollow within, you're worried about that hollow inside gaining control. Why don't you basically deal with it then? You need to deal with your issues instead of going through this cycle of being depressed. Rukia said, I'm the one who got myself in that situation. There's nothing I could have done, but you need to deal with that. Even though Ichigo feels like Kisuke can't help in this matter of fact, I do think maybe Kisuke can. I do like to still know a bit more about Ururu, Gentai and Mr. Tessai. Obviously their relationship, what their powers are, because Ururu definitely had some outworldly powers there to go up against an Arrancar. So there's something more to her. But obviously we saw Chad approach not Kisuke. We saw Chad approach Urahara at the end there because Chad again didn't stand. I mean, this was D-Roy, so Chad, unfortunately, Chad never got hurt or anything, but he could have. D-Roy, considering he was the weakest of the Menoskilians that were there, and he was one of the weakest of their bunch, Chad definitely feels like he is no match and he needs to level up, just like how Ichigo's feeling. And yeah, I didn't think that at the end Ichigo would go and actually visit the Vizards. Who else would know better to know how to control the hollow within, because Ichigo is a Vizard. He's essentially, like I was saying a couple of reactions ago, is he could technically, depending on which side of the coin he flips on, if his hollow takes control of him, he can become an Arrancar essentially, or if his Soul Reaper controls his hollow, he'll become a Vizard because the power's there. So it's just a flip of the coin for him. So yeah, he went back to Shinji. We got a glance and see some of the other Vizards that were there, and we got reintroduced again to Hiyori, who is badass. And yes, she basically said to Ichigo, you are not the one who decides whether you join us. We decide whether you join us. If we see that you're strong enough, you see that you're worthy of enough, then yeah, we'll allow you to join us, and bonus, we'll help you control your hollow. But that ain't gonna happen, because obviously as he was fighting, he was holding back. Shinji was holding back, and she said that he was being nice, but he was holding back because he feels as if every time he uses it, he will lose control. And I do like, there's a part of Ichigo in his maturity with his power, because he realizes I'm gonna have to deal with it, find a way. And that was to the point of having to go, like, he was so against Shinji and he didn't want to join their cult and all the other stuff he was going on about. But the fact that he had to approach him, and he even said to him, you know what, if you don't teach me how to control it, I'll force you to teach me. And I like how Hiyori used that. So when she holified, and I'm assuming that's how they use their full powers. So her hollow mask had come out and she wore it, and she was scary. So basically she said that if you don't fight me, if you don't bring him out, I will kill you. So essentially it's, you either die or you get your hollow to come out. And I was, like I said, I'm sure, because at the end I didn't realize it was her attack that did that to him. I thought his hollow was wanting to come out. His hollow was ready to like jump out, because I'm sure he is itching for a fight. He's itching to want to come out. So that is going to be very interesting, and obviously how Hiyori is going to teach Ichigo some tough love and put him in his place. So in other words, stop being a dick, bring out your hollow, because she's like, we can't know how strong you are without us assessing the hollow that you're trying to hold back. So yeah, those are really two good episodes. I like how, again, there's still this impending doom. The Soul Reapers were lucky this time that that group of Arrancar they were able to dispose of. I am wondering what would have been like if Ulquiorra and Yami were there, and some other people, because Yami's quite tough. Yami was giving Yami was giving Ichigo a run for his money before Ichigo had his split personality moment. But no, it's really interesting. I can't wait to see what happens next. And if you did like this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.